Welcome back. We are going to be talking about zero payments with David Schwartz. We're going to be talking about ISO. We're going to be discussing a little bit of institutional money coming in, and institutions are ready to play. I also have this about $27 trillion Brad Garlinghouse sitting in banks all over the world and so much more. Let's go ahead and get into this video, guys. David Schwartz here. If the cost of payments goes down to zero, the world is going to change. Let me play this.
No matter what. That is a given. We had a revolution in the physical delivery of goods with the shipping container, which changed globalization, started globalization. We had a revolution in the delivery of information with the internet. But what we don't know is, what is the TCP/IP of money? What is the shipping container of value? We don't know that yet. There's going to be one, though. That is a definite. And that's going to bring changes. And what I also want to get through is that one of those changes that I foresee and that I think is important is that the size of payments are going to shrink, drastically shrink. Many of you people here probably have a job and you probably get paid twice a month or every 2 weeks. Well, why is that? You probably pay bills once a month. Well, why is that? It's because payments are expensive and clunky. But if payments were cheap and simple, then those frequencies could go up. Money could be streamed at you while you're working. You could stream money to your landlord to pay for the place where you're staying. Now, I know those sound dumb, and I'll be blunt. Yeah, they are. And I'll tell you, like, if we were talking about email in the late 90s and you said to me, like, what are people going to use email for? I probably could not have given you the examples that is on everyone probably here, probably has a cell phone, probably has email on it, and probably has hundreds of messages that look nothing like postal mail or the messaging that existed in the late 90s. None of that could I have predicted. If you'd asked me if the internet had enough bandwidth in the year 2000, I would have said, yeah, it has plenty of bandwidth. Well, could I have imagined Netflix and on-demand video? That's ridiculous, right? Like, the cost of bandwidth is too high for that. But the internet drove the cost of bandwidth down to zero. And if the cost of payments go down to zero, the world is going to change. And I'm going to explain some of the ways that I think that's going to change and what that means.
All right. So really quickly, what he's saying here, there's actually a company building on the XRP Ledger that is trying to do zero cost payments, right? And the way that they're going to be able to do this is they're going to be able to arbitrage RLUSD when it goes down or when it goes up. They're going to be able to arbitrage to make some money that way. It sounds like the difference between the two. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm waiting to get some more information on that, and I want to bring that to you when I do get it. But, think about, people that deliver food or people that work 9 to 5 and live paycheck to paycheck, right? And things are very tight, right? Things are expensive. Groceries, maybe you have kids, right? And it's stressful for you. If you could get paid every single day, would that impact your life? Would that change your life for the better, right? I think it would. I think it would dramatically increase the way, people are able to live every single day. I know people go to the loan places that have high interest and they get stuck in that type of stuff because they need money to buy food for their family. And being able to get paid every day, I think is one thing that could dramatically change the world. And I'm looking forward to seeing if that does happen. All right. Matthew Liny says XRP, the SEC, Sunshine Act, Securities and Exchange Commission, Sunshine Act meetings. Time is 2 p.m. on Thursday, February 27th. The majority of the discussions is XRP related. And so he posted these two things. Let me go ahead and open this second part here. So, I guess he does highlight XRP here, and he does talk about the SIBO, the X exchange. So a lot of discussion about XRP here in this meeting, guys. Let's go ahead and get the approval that we need. The SEC needs to drop the case. They did it against Coinbase. We need to get it against Ripple so we are free to fly as high as we goddamn well please. Excuse the language. I was getting excited there. All right. Smoke Dog says, check out this video and these documents for a respectful rebuttal to the claim that ISO 20022 has nothing to do with the XRP. Now, I've seen Crypto Eerie kind of correcting some people online about this. Let's just have an open discussion about ISO. ISO 20022 it really has nothing to do with XRP. It's a messaging standard. Okay. You will be able to use XRP in that standard. Right now, there's there's a bunch of different standards that banks use around the world. And there's like 3 or 4 really big ones. And what they're trying to do is get everybody to use the same standard. So there's not any confusion. It's easier to send that value. And this new value, you could be able to send money. But let me I think it's Pega Sotani. I think that's who this is. Let me go ahead and bring her up and she can tell us a little bit more about this. All right, Pega. Sick. I love it. Here.
If you're using the system or high care, In today's payment world, the standards are really different around the world. So if you're using the SWIFT system or TIPS in Europe or Fed in US, you follow a different protocol. In addition, the data that you can transfer, the richness of that data is really limited. So what you get is a bunch of closed networks that don't speak to each other and unstructured data that's opaque. So there's a lot of manual intervention and ultimately a really poor payment experience. With ISO 20022, these problems will be solved. So ISO 20022 is a global standard for financial information exchange. This enables interoperability between different systems, straight through processing of payments, and rich data transfer. And it'll also foster competition because it's open and flexible. At Ripple, we've been aligned with ISO 20022 from day one. We've always recognized that this is the direction of payments and it'll be better for everyone. And we were really a first mover on that front. We've also joined the standard body to help contribute to how payments will shape in the future. Going back to your point around security, Ripple's also really committed to the highest standards in safety, privacy, and security. And a testament to this is that we have our SOC 2 certification. For those not very familiar with SOC 2 reports give really valuable information about an organization's security capabilities. So each of their customers and users can have confidence in that service, which means that anyone using Ripple's solution knows that we adhere to the most modern security and privacy standards.
Really quickly, I want to touch on this, right? You know, when it comes to Ripple or it comes to Medico, those two companies have the best in-class technology for crypto infrastructure, for digital asset infrastructure, okay? Ripple built all their banking technology on the XRP Ledger, uses XRP in a lot of different ways. Yes, there are some things that you can use Ripple for that doesn't involve XRP, but the majority of payments do involve it. You also have this other side with Medico having top infrastructure for banks to custody any type of digital assets or, you know, tokenized value, that type of thing. So when institutions or central banks go looking to partner with one of these companies, you better believe that Ripple and Medico are at the top of anyone's list, right? And being on a list is the most important thing, right? You have an opportunity at the bat. If you've ever been in sales or you've worked a job like this, you know, if you have an appointment with a customer, it's up to you to close them. But if you can't even get that customer on the phone or in front of you, it's extremely difficult. So Ripple already being on these lists is going to greatly impact the chances of them working with more and more companies and central banks. Woohoo! That was spicy.
And in line with that, we've also received our SOC 2 Type 2 report. So not only do we have the policies and processes in place around various criteria related to security, availability, and the integrity of the system, but also that we've been doing so consistently for a period of time.
Man, I would love to interview Pega. I mean, how big do we have to get on YouTube to interview some of these people at Ripple? Like 100,000, 150,000 subscribers and like 100,000 per video? I don't know, guys. Tell me down in the comments what we need to get to. And if you haven't liked the video and you've made it this far, just hit the button, please. I love you. Thank you. We also have this older clip. This is James Wallace. It says XRP will bridge all money. All money.
This is in terms of native cryptos like XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum. You know, they're not all the same, right? They're not all created equal. I think what's becoming much more popular in the industry now is more sustainable technologies. So the XRP Ledger and XRP there's no mining or proof of work or proof of stake involved. So the computational cost of, you know, validating transactions is almost zero, right? Very, very low cost and very stable in terms of pricing. Stablecoins, again, not all created equal. You have a massive range from the algorithmic type stablecoins. You know, we all know the Terra story from a few weeks ago. And then now what we're seeing emerging is, you know, stablecoins being issued by regulated entities. So I can't give you the names yet, but there's two projects we're working on, one in the UK and one in the US, working with banks that are regulated who will be issuing stablecoins, and the reserves will likely to be held at a central bank, in a central bank.
So you're talking, it's interesting, right? Ripple's involved with working with banks that are creating their own stablecoins, right? We talk about this a lot on this channel. You know, Ripple's stablecoin technology isn't just for Ripple, right? You already have a bank. I can't remember the bank. It's like BB something. I do apologize. There's so much going on, but they're working on building, or they have built their own stablecoin on the XRP Ledger, right? Think of what happens if all of these Ripple partners build a stablecoin on the XRP Ledger, okay? It'll be like JP Morgan, it'll be Wells Fargo, it'll be Bank of America. I'm just using examples of banks here. Two of those are definitely Ripple partners, Bank of America and Wells Fargo, right? If they decide to digitize all of their value in the bank, right? And bring it into their stablecoin in that value. If that value lives on the XRP ledger, ladies and gentlemen, that's eureka. That's what we want, right? 5 trillion, 10 trillion, $50 trillion, just like that can be added to the XRP ledger. Obviously, it would take time and it's not a snap of a finger, but you get what I'm saying here, right? It only takes a few and then you get a few more. And then, before you know it, you have 20, 30, 50 different stable coins on the XRP ledger. And these banks can all move money instantaneously between them because it's all on the ledger, the future.
So very different from the algorithmic stablecoin. We as Ripple work across all of these technologies. And then, of course, you've got central bank digital currencies, which essentially is the highest form of digital currency, right? Issued by the central bank, backed by the central bank, the most secure form. As a company who's working across the payment space, we're embracing all of these. And we see they will all play their part in the future of money. I mean, today, cryptocurrency is less than 1% of all the money. Central bank money is less than 10%. The rest is all commercial bank money.
The rest is all commercial bank money. I did want to show you something. Ripple actually, I believe they removed CBDCs from their website, right? Anybody see, when I last looked at this, I didn't see anything about, cross-border payments, digital asset custody, and stablecoins. They removed the central bank digital currency stuff because of Trump. Because of the Republican Party, because they're anti-CBDC and Ripple's trying to get in and they don't want anything leading back to them with central bank digital currency. That is so interesting. I mean, take a look here, right? You have solutions. Where is the CBDC solution? I just thought that was interesting. I don't see anybody mentioning this online. All right, here you go. Brad Garlinghouse. This says 27 trillion. We're sitting in banks, Nostro, Vostro accounts. Let me play this.
How long does it typically sit there?
There's $27 trillion sitting in these bank-to-bank accounts. They're called Nostro accounts, Vostro accounts.
Yeah.
It really is a problem that if we can reduce the time, the friction, the cost, we really can accelerate global commerce. And by reducing that friction, you accelerate that engine. It's good across the board. It's good for both companies in the United States. It's good for the unbanked communities across Africa. It really can fundamentally change the way the global financial infrastructure is wired.
But what about the other end, divisibility? There is a maximum supply of 100 billion XRP being divisible by 6 decimal places, meaning that the smallest unit is 1/millionth of 1 XRP. Think about this. Why would XRP's designers make the token so divisible in the first place? At a value of 40 cents per coin, this is absurd. After all, who could possibly require the use of 1/millionth of 40 cents? You wouldn't do that unless you planned for the token to be much higher where it currently is. But a much higher token value, say $10,000 per XRP, that divisibility makes sense for 2 reasons. Low transaction cost and affordability for small retail use. The minimum transaction cost required by the network for a standard transaction is 10 drops. It sometimes increases due to higher than usual loads. Even in a $10,000 XRP value, the transaction cost still would only be approximately 10 cents. This is still exceptionally cheap. 1 cent is arguably the smallest denomination that would be necessary to use XRP as a means of transacting everyday retail exchanges even in developing markets.
Damn deep. All right. We also have this. Brad Keim states that XRP is new money. Let me play it.
Mark's great. But I'm coming at it from the understanding that I believe that you would do that for a couple of reasons. One, it is new money. So you don't want to have cap gains on it because it's going to be used for payments. This would be specifically geared towards the protocols and US tokens and projects that are geared for payments. So this will be used as a money. Now, the other part to that is if you have no cap gains on those assets, how many people are going to flock to take ownership in that asset? And that
really quickly, I got so distracted here. You look at Brad Kimes. He's looking at private planes. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 out of the thing. Look at this. Most expensive house ever. Brad, he's already shopping. Brad Kimes is already shopping. I love it. So
protocol. Distracted. How quickly will those protocols become number one just because of that aspect? And if those protocols are U.S. domicile protocols, then who's the new internet of value really owned and controlled by? The same country that birthed the internet. the United States of America. Write it down.
Write it down. All right, Brad. Thank you so much. And then Ripple and ArcX, the XRP Ledger. This collaboration underscores the XRP Ledger's credentials as a leading blockchain for real-world assets. It says a collaborative vision for the future. Ripple and ArcX share a compliance-first approach, working with proactivity with regulators and policymakers to integrate crypto and blockchain technology into global financial systems. This collaboration underscores the XRP Ledger's credentials as a leading blockchain for world asset tokenization, making it a compelling choice for financial institutions looking to embrace the benefits of decentralized finance. And then last but not least, you have boom. XRP is one step closer to U.S. National Digital Asset Reserve. Guys, listen, we have never been closer to our goals than right now, right? Over the last 4 or 5 years that I've been in XRP, we've never been closer to reaching our goals. XRP ETF, XRP global adoption, RLUSD global adoption, banks and institutions and central banks working with Ripple. It's all coming together. The real question is, how long is this all going to take? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? Is it longer than that? I really don't know. And I don't think anybody can tell you. And if anyone gives you a date, think twice about the date, because I've seen dates come and go, and I'll never give you a hard date for anything. All right, if you want to take your crypto journey to the next level and you want to join my crypto community, Cryptoneers, there's a link down in the description. We have hundreds of people from all over the world that are all working towards a common goal of finding projects early in the crypto space and getting that information early enough to make it a difference in their portfolio. I hope to see you around. The code is BULLRUN for that 50% off the first month. Aloha. I'll see you next time. I've been Crypto Sensei. Peace.